Alright, so this is how we're gonna do it. Brian, I'd like to, for you, state your name and what you do
Okay.
for entertainment, and that will help me declare that.
Okay. I'm Brian, and I'm a YouTuber.
Alright, thank you. So, I came to you about this show. What was the first thing that came to mind?
I'm excited. This is a great idea.
So you're aware that this is a strategic game and only one will win.
Yes, absolutely.
So that means one big question. How are you going to play this game? And please go into details, so nice juicy details about everything.
So, my plan, my strategy for this game, obviously be the last one standing, but I plan on doing multiple blindsides, being the mastermind behind a lot of tactics, trying to get the more popular people off first, just so that way they don't get the vote at the end, the jury vote, if you will. I'm going to be searching for immunity a ton, and I'm going to go in fighting my hardest.
So, you'll consider yourself more of a villain, am I right?
Yeah, you could definitely say I'm going to play a big villain.
Alright. What is the story for you? Or what's going to be the story?
The story is that this scrawny little person is going to be looked down upon in challenges, in physical skill, but I'm a very smart person and I'm going to be a very smart player, and then it's going to turn from this scrawny guy who isn't going to be looked at seriously to being a big threat in the game.
So, based on that, do you think you're going to be first out, middle, or all the way in the end?
It's funny that you asked that because I've been thinking about it recently, and I feel like it could go any way, and I have to be prepared for that. If people look at me as a weak link, they're going to want me out first. If they see me as a threat, they're going to want to get me out early as well. So I'm going to have to rely on luck of the challenges and working as hard as I can to be able to get immunity so that doesn't happen.
Is there anything you won't do to get yourself to the end?
Not that I know of.
So you'll do whatever it takes?
Absolutely 100%.
Alright, last but not least, no matter what the outcome is of this game, whether you win, second place, first one out, would you ever come back for another go around? For either a redemption, see if you could win again, or whatever the case may be in your story?
And my answer to that is simple. Yes. Yes, I would.
Alright. We're done.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
So, I'm gonna reveal the thing. I'm sure I probably already told you and you saw it. The theme of the season is friend or foe. We're jumping straight into like a theme. Because that's what it is. These people could either, it's simple, it's in the theme, friend or foe.
Mm-hmm.
You may know a few of these people, you may not.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think about that theme?
That theme's really interesting because if it's people you know, then you're bound to go to them first. But me personally, I'm going to be more of the foe aspect. I'm going to try to get to know as many of the people I don't know as much. So that way I can not guarantee, but make sure I have a better shot later in the game.
So, like, okay. So when it the fact that you know people, whether if you are good friends with them outside the game or not as well, do you think that will make the game harder or easier?
Um, that really depends. From my perspective, I think it's gonna make things a bit easier because I already know a few of these people. If I do, like hypothetically say, I know person ABC. Okay, all I have to do is talk to persons D and E, and then I could be at a solid position in this game. But let's say I don't know anybody. That's gonna make it a lot tougher on me because obviously, if you're looking at friends' perspectives,
You could be the first one out because they don't know you.
exactly. And another part of that is, going back to the friend aspect of it, if I vote out one of my friends, will they give me the vote that I would need in the end? Because that's really what everyone's gunning for, is to get to the end and have the votes for the end to win. And I think with Friend or Foe, it really spices up the options, and it really tests the limits of these relationships.
I agree with that because that's the thing I went into creating this.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted I always wanted my own show, but let's make this difficult from the start.
Absolutely.
I think that will make it interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I already know your answer to this question, but just for the hell of it, I'm gonna ask it anyways because I'm gonna ask anyone because of it, the friend or foe.
Mm-hmm.
The final three, would it be people you know or people you don't know? Or undecided yet?
I think I'm more on undecided, but my strategy would be someone I know and someone I don't know, and have it split. Because if it's someone I know, then I could be like, I know that this person isn't very popular amongst the jury, and that would just be advantageous for me. But if it's someone I don't know, then I could be like, I could judge their character and be like, I don't think this person is really liked by anyone else.
Or they could be liked by everyone, you just don't know it.
Absolutely.
That's what I love about this theme in general. That's one thing that I love. I said it in my interview.
Mm-hmm.
I love this theme because it makes the jury decisioning a lot harder
Yep.
of who you want on the jury versus who you want to be in the finals with, and how you're gonna take people out.
Yeah.
It puts everything in a whole new perspective of games like Survivor, Big Brother, and so forth.
Absolutely, it
Which
does.
this is a mix of both.
Yeah, and I think that's another thing that's interesting about just this overall is the fact that you have a mix of the Survivor life and a mix of the Big Brother life. And when that combines, you get some pretty interesting results.
Oh, we're gonna see how interesting these results are gonna be.
Yeah, absolutely we are.
It'll be a lot more interesting if we just did. However, that's random people off the streets instead of friends and
Yeah.
somewhat acquaintances and or enemies, depending on how you feel against other people.
Yeah, and that's what really drives, that's like the force behind this game, is just everyone is a different personality and either you know it or you don't. And just with all the relationships that can happen, I mean, with the cast size like this, I mean, you still have tons of multiple outcomes.
Mm-hmm. It might be a small cast, but
Yeah.
there's different connections you can make. There's different relationships out there.
Absolutely.
It's one of the greatest things I always fantasize about.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Now that's one of the things it's great. You just never know what the hell's gonna happen from the moment you put on your bandanas.
Exactly. And what happens from there? You gotta find out, right?
Okay, I want to talk about the fans, the people who are going to be watching this.
Okay.
This could be your family. You might show them when it comes out, or your other friends. Like, how do you think they're going to take the way you're planning on going into this game? Let me be specific. Your like your grandmother.
I don't think my grandma would be too appreciative of the way I play, to be honest. But she knows that I will try my hardest at whatever I do. And like I said earlier, I'm willing to do anything I can to come out on top. So, I mean,
even means blindsiding your best friend.
Absolutely.
Alright. And what about other people in general? How do you think they're gonna perceive you?
I feel like some are going to see me as a good player and others are going to see my flaws and say that I'm going to be a bad, or I've made some mistakes during my stay. But overall, I think people are going to view me as a good player. People are going to see me as overconfident at times, for sure. But
so look at Tony on Survivor.
Yeah, you could say
like if Tony and Coach had a child, it would be you.
You could say that. But it's accurate.
Yeah, very accurate.
But I feel like people are going to see me as overconfident, but I'm going to be scared for my life at every tribal because, that's how Survivor can be. You never know what's going to happen, and Big Brother too,
Big Brother. Same way. Like, will you ever put your life on the line? Let's say you and your alliance are debating on voting someone out. Like, what do you tell other people to vote for? Will you be willing to tell people, like, hey, to tell them put my name down? Will you put yourself, like, as a pawn?
That really depends on the circumstance. I mean, if I have an idol, yes, I will. I will put myself as that pawn. And if, I've thought of a scenario about how maybe even we could draw rocks.
Something like a deadlock.
Definitely a deadlock. I've thought about creating deadlock situations before and keeping myself in the game, through it. So,
I tell you this, if we ever have a game changer season, we already know who the first person we're going to go to. That's right, the winner of this season.
Yeah. I mean, whoever wins the season probably would have changed the game in a way
Not changed the game, they're setting the game up for future seasons.
Very true. But from changing the game from my point of view, I feel like they would change it and do something with it and
definitely will.
Make a huge splash on the scene.
Alright, so are you doing this for the experience? Or are you doing this to win? For the reward at the end of the game?
I'm doing this just for the
shits and giggles?
Mainly for
Just see how far you got. Like, what's driving you to come on the show?
It's definitely the experience and to do it just to see how far I get,
Yep.
Because, yes, I'm here to win, but I'm not here for the reward. That's not who I am. I'm here to play the game and just do as good of a job as I can play it.
Alright, I think that's all we have.
Awesome.
Alright. Yeah.